What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back here on NBA 2K, just addressing some more rumors. As today, we've been kind of focusing on the Jazz this week. We did a Mitchell, Miami Heat, a Tyler Hero, Utah Jazz. And now today, we're going to be doing a Rudy Gobert, Charlotte Hornets rebuild, because I think this one could be a lot of fun. Before we get into today's video, guys, if you could drop a like and, of course, subscribe if you're new around here, that'd be greatly appreciated. Obviously, we are waiting on the NBA draft and also maybe some trades to happen because we are getting closer and closer to the technical offseason. I think teams can technically make trades right now. Obviously, the finals are going on as well. But trust me, as soon as there's some type of trade, you already know we'll be here with some type of rebuild on it if the trade is worth it, obviously. But this is the trade I decided to do when it came. You guys have seen this trade in past rebuilds pretty much. So it's a combination of Washington, Gordon Hayward, a first, and then maybe another young player for Rudy Gobert. So the Jazz get rid of Gobert's contract. They get a young player in PJ Washington. They also get a future first. And they get a young player in Kai Jones, and they get off Gobert's contract. Most importantly, obviously, Quinn Snyder stepped down. So that could signal some things coming up for the Jazz. We're not totally sure how it's going to look yet, but regardless, that is what we did. So now we have Rudy Gobert as the lob threat next to LaMelo Ball, which I think is definitely an interesting one. We've also seen rumors about Gobert potentially to Dallas, pairing alongside Luka Doncic, but I think the Hornets definitely have a little bit more assets than the Mavericks do, which is why we did it this way. So Gobert and Miles Bridges would be your front court, which I think would be really nice. And then obviously LaMelo is your point guard. So this team is already in good shape, but we're going to keep it going. So obviously James Marengo did get fired in real life. And I literally said this in the last video. I don't think the Hornets have officially made a signing yet as far as getting a different head coach. I think right now Kenny Atkinson is leading apparently. So I guess I'm going to try to get Kenny Atkinson again on this team. I think he's a Warriors assistant, so I'm going to have to fire him over there to get him on this team. But I'm going to fill out the rest of the coaching staff, and then we'll continue on with the rebuild after the staff is filled out. And then we also have 2 first-round picks, which not totally sure the Jazz would let the Hornets get away with that. Like, hey, you have 2 firsts. At least give us one of those if you're going to get Gobert, which, yeah, that's fair. So maybe I should have done that. But regardless, I'll be back in a second. So now that we have Kenny Atkinson as our head coach, we can continue on with this rebuild. So first things first is going to be the draft. We have 13 and 15, and obviously the last Hornets rebuild we did a Mark Williams Charlotte Hornets rebuild, but now we can kind of go into this freely and draft something different than center. I think I'm going to re-sign Montrezl Harrell to be my backup center. So we're really not going to need to get a backup center. We also have like Nick Richards and Plumlee as well if we wanted to. So I don't think we could still potentially draft a center if there's someone there, but let's just jump in and see what falls to us at pick number 12, and then obviously or number 13, I should say, and then 15 as well. So I honestly want to walk away with Jeremy Sohan if he's still here. Keegan Murray being here doesn't make any sense, to be honest with you. He should not be here, so I'm not going to draft him. He's supposed to at least go top 5, if not top 10. I don't think he'd fall all the way to 13. I think that's crazy. So I'm not going to draft him just because I don't think that's realistic at all. But Jeremy Sohan could definitely be here, so I'm going to take him here at number 13. And then number 15, Keegan Murray still being here doesn't make any sense. Benedict Mathurin doesn't make any sense either. Abaji could maybe be here if he slipped that far, Lydell, but I'm going to try to be a little bit more realistic here. Dyson Daniels is supposed to go top 10 as well. Tari Eason, also somebody that could be interesting for this team. Nikola Jovic. A lot of interesting players we could take here. But for me, I think I'm going to go ahead and I might take Kendall Brown with this pick. I'm going to take Kendall Brown with this pick at number 15. And then in the second round, I mean, it doesn't matter too much. I guess I could take like Christian Koloko, just in case, as a backup center for insurance later on. So welcome to the team. Jeremy Sohan, Kendall Brown, and Christian Koloko. So we get 2 forwards, which is really solid. In player options, we have Mason Plumlee, which I'm going to decline. Jalen McDaniel. So the last Hornets video I did, they actually cut him for me. So I'm going to try to make sure that doesn't happen today, because I even have him in the video last time we did a rebuild of the Hornets. So Cody Martin and Miles Bridges are 2 guys I definitely would love to see back on this team. Of course, Miles Bridges should be the Hornets' #1 priority this offseason. He stepped up big time, and obviously it was his contract year, so you expect him to do that, but you still would like to keep him. They have Rozier as your 2 guard, who is on one of the biggest contracts in the NBA. Well, not biggest, but he's on a pretty big contract, so I don't really think he's going anywhere anytime soon. Maybe there'd be a team that would line up for him, though. He's not a bad player by any means. Just not sure I would have paid him that much. So, but Oubre, Jeremy Sohan, and Kendall Brown are kind of your forward rotation. You have JT Thor as well. McDaniels is your power forward. So we actually low-key might move Jeremy Sohan to power forward because he is tall enough to do it. So we'll have Sohan and McDaniels. I guess we're getting Miles Bridges back as well. So either way, maybe maybe we do it this way. I forgot we're getting Miles Bridges back. So let me focus on Miles Bridges first and foremost. So He's getting an offer from the Pacers. Of course, we're going to match it. There's no reason to just let him walk for nothing. I actually don't want to renounce Montrezl Harrell. I actually kind of want him back, to be honest with you, if he's still here. Hopefully he is. I do want him back, and he is, in fact, still here. I'm going to give him a 3-year deal to keep him on the Hornets as our backup going forward. So Montrezl Harrell signs, and then Martin is the other guy that I wouldn't mind having back on this team as well as like a backup 2 guard for this team. So solid role player. Welcome back to the Hornets, and I think that's going to be our offseason, really. So looking at the team now that everything is complete, it's LaMelo Ball at the point guard. You have Terry Rozier and then Cody Martin coming back. And then James Bouknight, I kind of want to get him some minutes this year as well. So we can see what we do with that. And then you got Kelly Oubre, Jeremy Sohan, and then Kendall Brown. Since Jeremy Sohan is going to play a backup small forward role, Kendall Brown probably be out of the rotation this year, I imagine. You have Miles Bridges, Jalen McDaniels, and then Gobert and Montrezl Harrell. Then Christian Coloco could maybe become something for us one day. So yeah, I kind of like this team. Obviously, we kind of want to see how good LaMelo and Gobert, obviously do together, and we'll see how things go there. LaMelo Ball should be really good. Gobert should be a really nice lob threat for him. Then Miles Bridges continues to get better as well. So exciting future for us. If the Hornets can land themselves a center, whether it's Gobert, Capella, even Miles Turner, they should definitely do it. Or of course, draft somebody at 13 or 15 to address that center position as well. But Gobert is our guy for this video. So let's take a look at the rotation all together now that everything is complete. You have LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier. They want to start Jeremy Sohan, which I'm okay with that. Miles Bridges and Rudy Gobert. That's a really good front court I like. And then Kelly Oubre. Actually, low-key might be a trade deadline trade because he is on an expiring contract, and I'm not sure I'll keep him after this. Then Montrezl Harrell, Cody Martin, and Kendall Brown actually is going to get the last few minutes, which I'm not sure. I'm going to give McDaniels those last few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we'll have that kind of slipped in or flipped, I should say. And I do want to get James Bouknight some minutes eventually. I feel like it's unfair for him not to be in the rotation at all. So maybe, okay, let's do this. Let's run a 10-minute rotation because I do want to see James Bouknight play some minutes. And then I'll have Bouknight in here over Kendall Brown, and then we'll do something like that because I do, like I said, I do want to see James Bouknight get some run this year. But I'm going to try to free up some minutes by trading Oubre at the trade deadline. But for now, we're going to simulate this season. We're going to see how things go with LaMelo Ball and LaMelo Ball and Gobert paired together, and Rozier on top of that, and Miles Bridges. So this should be a good team. We'll see what happens. So things are going exceptionally well at the trade deadline. We're actually currently the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference. So making a trade right now may not make any sense, but I just want to plan ahead with Kelly Oubre, and I just don't know if I'll have him going forward. And I do want to free up some minutes for some other guys. So I'm going to go ahead and trade Kelly Oubre away because I do want to see James Bouknight get in the rotation a little bit more. I'm looking for a 1st-round pick, a protected one if possible, if that's going to even happen here. So the Mavericks want to give me a 1st, and they'll give me Reggie Bullock, which I'm actually okay with that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Devontae Graham, don't want to take on the contract. Oh, Devontae Graham here actually wouldn't be too... Oh, he used to play in Charlotte actually as well. That would be fun. I was about to say, Devontae Graham in Charlotte would be interesting, but he literally played here. What am I talking about? So I think I am going to make that trade with the Mavericks and get that 2025 pick. They get Kelly Oubre, which is somebody the Mavericks could actually use, and we get a 1st-round pick, and we take on Reggie's expiring contract. Non-guaranteed money next year, so that frees up some minutes in the rotation. Now I'm going to shrink this down to a 9-man rotation, so the starting 5 is going to stay the same. The only thing I want to see differently is, yeah, like I said, I want to see James Bouknight get some minutes and continue to develop for us because obviously he deserves it. So James Bouknight is that backup shooting guard. He is going to be the last man off the bench, and we're going to continue to see how things go. Currently the 2nd seed in the East. Hopefully trading Oubre doesn't totally ruin our roster. I don't think it will, but we'll continue to do this train and see what happens. You guys already know who won the MVP, so we're just skipping past that. But right now, we finished currently as the 2nd seed in the East. Chet Holmgren wins Rookie of the Year on the Rockets, so it looks like the Rockets had Chet Holmgren fall to them at 3. Malcolm Brogdon, 6th man on the Pacers. You got Matisse Thybulle, won Defensive Player of the Year. And you got LaMelo Ball, Most Improved Player, 26-9. So 50-40-90 club for him as well, which you love to see that. And Nate McMillan is your Coach of the Year on the Hawks, so 60-22. And then Kenny Webb is your executive. So it looks like the Hawks were the team that kind of edge this out. But here's your All-NBA 1st team. No LaMelo Ball on All-NBA 1st team. He does make All-NBA 2nd team though, which is really nice to see. And he's still on his rookie contract, so that's also a good sign. And then Shea, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Edwards, and Towns. And then, yeah, I was going to say, I expect Gobert to probably make All-Defensive 1st team, which I think Gobert is, like I said, he's a good player. Definitely makes a little bit more money than you'd like, for sure. I saw LaMelo Ball actually made an All-Defensive team as well. But like I said, we were the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference. Looking at the player stats, we had 26 from LaMelo, 18.5 from Miles Bridges, 18 from Terry Rozier, and then 15 and 14 from Gobert, and then obviously 3 blocks. So Gobert, really solid stat line. You'd love to see it. 63% from the field, 12 points from Montrezl Harrell, and then 6 rebounds on top of that. James Bouknight got in the rotation, chipped in almost 10 points per game. So that's pretty promising, in my opinion. Love to see that. And 8 from Reggie Bullock, Well, I guess maybe, or he didn't play for us, I don't think. But in Dallas, he averaged 8 points per game. Shout out to him. And Jeremy Sohan with 5.5. But we are going to be either playing probably, well, I guess we'll see. Let's see who we get to play. We get to play the Indiana Pacers, who had the 6-man Malcolm Brogdon. The Pistons get eliminated, which is actually interesting because the Pistons are usually pretty scary. Who did they draft? At number 5, they got Washington. Okay, I guess that makes a little bit more sense. But let's see who we get to play or see what the Pacers looking like. They got Zach LaVine in free agency. Okay, this could be interesting. They also drafted Shaedon Sharpe. Let's just go into simulate current round. We are up 2-1, 3-1, and we beat them in 5. So just like that, we took care of business round 1 pretty easily. And Rozier and Gobert. And then Montrezl Harrell, 20 from 4 of your players, I think definitely gives you the win. Beat them by 12 there. Okay, now on to Philadelphia, which Philadelphia is a team year in and year out that's competing for a championship. So this could be a tough one. Obviously, Embiid's window is open, so they are looking to do it. And he looks like he got an extension on top of that. So shout out to Embiid. And then Harden, of course, probably got, he accepted his player option. And Tyrese Maxey stepped up big time. So somebody current round against Philly, we beat them in 7. So we upset the 76ers. That is not a good look for Embiid and the 76ers. Embiid's going to request a trade this offseason, and he's coming over to Charlotte, like Kevin Durant did when he got eliminated by the Warriors. Just kidding. But we get to play the Boston Celtics, who are in the finals in real life. They are starting Peyton Pritchard and James Johnson, for crying out loud. So can we beat the Boston Celtics, go to the finals in year number 1? And we do just that. We are in the NBA Finals. We beat the Celtics in 6 games. Jason Tatum drops 41, but LaMelo Ball drops 36 and 9. LaMelo Ball, I'm sure, is averaging career highs in the playoffs, I imagine. Let's see. Playoffs, he's averaging 28 points per game. Yeah, he stepped up big time. But now we get to play the Memphis Grizzlies, who obviously have a young point guard in their own right. They also signed TJ Warren, which actually is a decent signing as a 6-man for them. But it'll be Gobert versus Steven Adams down low, which are 2 centers that usually get played out of the playoffs. So it'd be pretty interesting if Gobert and Steven Adams were going up against each other, which I feel like that's probably been seen before, just not remembering how it looked. But game 1, we're down 1-0. We lost by 3. So tough game 1. Can we win game 2? Yes, we can. 128-111. 33 for Miles Bridges. Game 3 is going to go to the Grizzlies. Game 4 is going to go to the Grizzlies. And game 5 is going to go to us. Can we force a game 7? Yes, we can. Game 7. Coming back from a 3-1 deficit back in Charlotte. Can we complete this comeback and win a championship in year number 1? It is a close back and forth game. I can't jump in because 2K will bug out on me and I will lose everything. But I think it's safe to say we've won a championship in year number 1 with LaMelo Ball, Rudy Gobert, and the Charlotte Hornets. And just like that, that is going to end the video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this Crushables. And obviously, I'm just kidding. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. All right. Back to the offseason we go. So we just won a championship with Rudy Gobert coming over to Charlotte. So that ended up working out tremendously. How do we win another one is the question. Well, I think we kind of keep the rotation similar, but I think we do try to make some moves on top of that. So let's go to the draft lottery, start things off. I'm going to assume we don't have our draft pick this offseason. I think it goes to the Knicks, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. And that is the case. It's the 30th pick anyway. The Suns win the number 1 overall pick, which is interesting. The Knicks have number 3 as well. So Kenny Atkinson ended up being a really good hire for us. We won a championship in year number 1. How can we win a championship in year number 2 is the question. So Gobert made an immediate impact for us, which is really nice to see. But on a draft night where we do have a 2nd round pick, but I probably won't worry about it too much. The only thing, I mean, LaMelo Ball being on his rookie contract kind of makes me want to take advantage of some things. Just not really sure where I do that at. Rozier's actually been a really solid player for us. It's not like I'm, itching to trade Rozier or anything like that, but he might be at his best value where it might make sense to do so. And then usually in Charlotte Hornets rebuilds, I do end up keeping Rozier, but today it might be fun and interesting if we found a trade partner for him, if there was a team desperate enough for a guy like Rozier. So I'm going to go past the draft, and I'm going to sign whoever they drafted for me. They got Nate Biddle, so welcome to the team. Player options, we have Koloko. And Reggie Bullock's $10 million, I'm actually going to accept because I do want to make some moves this offseason. Qualifying offers, Nick Richards. And then for free agency, we have, which we probably don't have money, obviously, but we do have like McDaniels who's a free agent. Imagine John Morant, LaMelo Ball backcourt. That would be fun. But I'm looking to make a trade with Rozier's contract. I want to make something happen. So small forward wise, I like my center. I like my power forward. And I like my point guard. My wing players, though, I'm okay with making a change here. If we could start James Bouknight in year number 2, I'd be so okay with that just to give him an opportunity. I think he's going to progress very nicely for us. So maybe we're looking for a better small forward, or again, we could still just look for a better shooting guard. So I'm going to take a look around the league, and actually let's go to player finder and let's find what we're looking for. So just to make a interesting move in this video, just to have fun here, let's see what we could get. What makes sense for us. So Kevin Durant, Tatum, LeBron, Kawhi, Jimmy Butler, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Ingram, Jaylen Brown. Oh, I kind of love the idea of getting Jaylen Brown from the Celtics. I'm not going to lie to you. So obviously saying that right now doesn't make any sense, but if I had to explain myself a little bit, maybe it could happen. So yeah, I think Jaylen Brown is going to be my target here. Now, obviously, like I said, it's not going to make a ton of sense to think about right now, but if you really put into perspective, let's say the Celtics ended up losing to the Warriors in the finals, and then the next year, obviously, they lost to us, and they did not make it out. I'm not saying, trading Jaylen Brown's the answer, but maybe the Celtics are looking to make some changes. So what we could do is we could offer them like a sweet package with Rozier for Jaylen Brown, not straight up, obviously, but it have to be more than that. So let's say we offer them Terry Rozier. We don't have, actually, we do have a first round pick to trade away. So I'm going to trade 2024, and then I'm also going to offer Kendall Brown, who wasn't part of the rotation much anyway. We have Nate Biddle, who we just drafted, and then we have what else we got? I don't want to throw James Bouknight in here necessarily. Maybe they would require giving them Jeremy Sohan as well. I think that would get it done, really would, if I threw all this at the Celtics for Jaylen Brown. I'm going to try without, well, actually, no. I'm fine with trading Jeremy Sohan if I have to, but maybe Christian Coloco. Let's see if they would accept this. They do. Okay. We got Jaylen Brown on the Charlotte Hornets. Now, again, maybe doesn't make a ton of sense, but just thinking about it a little bit, which actually moving Jaylen Brown to the 3, I probably should have traded. I probably shouldn't have accepted Reggie Bullock's offer now that I think about it, but it's okay. He'll just be here and kind of chill and make some money for the team. So now you have LaMelo Ball, Cody Martin, James Bouknight, Jaylen Brown, Jeremy Sohan, Miles Bridges, Gobert, and Montrezl Harrell. Again, it doesn't make sense for the Celtics to trade Jaylen Brown right now, but let's say the Celtics disappointed in the playoffs each year, and maybe they were looking to make some changes. Maybe you could see something like that happening, but very unlikely. So the Celtics get Terry Rozier back. They're looking to retool around Jason Tatum. Not sure how that'll look for them, but I'm not too worried about them today. So now we need a backup power forward or backup point guard, and which that would be McDaniels. So let's just get McDaniels back and call it a day, and then we'll be fine. And then we'll have a new interesting rotation. So yeah, just to make things fun, a little bit more fun. Got Jaylen Brown here in Charlotte, try to win another championship. So let's go to player progression. See how it treats us with Jaylen Brown here now. Rudy Gobert goes down. LaMelo Ball is up. Jaylen Brown. Now you have LaMelo, Jaylen Brown, Jeremy Sohan. I mean, things are looking good. James Bouknight develops as well, which James Bouknight might get a starting shooting guard spot this year, unless if we wanted to start Jeremy Sohan still and then have Bouknight off the bench. Either way, we can start one or the other for sure. So let's see if we can go on and win another championship back-to-back with Jaylen Brown joining us. Puts our power ranking a little bit higher. So this would be our starting 5, which they actually want to start Cody Martin. So maybe we do just move Jaylen Brown back to shooting guard and have, well, Jaylen Brown goes down at shooting. I mean, it doesn't matter too much. So maybe it would look like this instead. So you have LaMelo Ball, Jaylen Brown, Jeremy Sohan, Miles Bridges, Gobert, Montrezl Harrell, James Bouknight, Cody Martin, and then McDaniels, and that's your rotation. I guess I'll move Cody Martin to small forward on top of that. He goes up to a 78 overall. And they still want to start Cody Martin, but I'm going to start Jeremy Sohan. So that is going to be your team. So this will be interesting. Proficiency wise, 4-star balance system. We're going to see if we can win a championship in year number 2 with Jaylen Brown joining us here in Charlotte. Now that Terry Rozier is gone. Shot tendency wise, Melo's is really high. Gobert's is at a fine rate. And then Miles Bridges and Jaylen Brown are appropriate as well. So let's simulate this year. Let's see what happens. You guys already know who won the MVP again, man. I don't even know if I should really just stop showing that. Like, this is where I'm going to start every time. Awards, this is where I start. Rookie of the Year. This isn't Luka, literally every time. Rookie of the Year goes to Scooter Henderson, Brogdon, 6-man, Giannis, Defensive Player, MPJ, Most Improved, Monty Williams, your Coach of the Year, and Christian Bartlett's your Executive. Here's your All-NBA First Team with LaMelo Ball making it this year. Tatum makes All-NBA First Team as well. I'm actually curious to see what kind of changes they made with Jaylen Brown being gone, if they did anything crazy. And then here's your All-NBA Second Team, All-NBA Third Team, and Offense First Team, which we have LaMelo Ball, and Gobert makes all defensive second team, which is cool. And then that's it. So first seed in the Eastern Conference for us. Boston still got the 6th seed. I still do want to look at their team. So they have Smart, Rozier, Jason Tatum, Grant Williams, Robert Williams, Derek White, Naismith, Kendall Brown, Christian Kolokos. I mean, they got some pieces. They did get some pieces, but obviously you'd probably look to flip those pieces for like other stuff. This is still a solid team, don't get me wrong, But obviously, trading Jaylen Brown still didn't make a ton of sense for them. It just maybe they'd, they'd probably want something better than what I gave them. But regardless, I'm okay with that. Looking at the player stats, we had 32 from LaMelo Ball. Jaylen Brown came over and helped out a lot with 23 points per game. 18 from Miles Bridges, 12 from Rudy Gobert, 11 from James Bouknight, and then 10 from Montrezl Harrell, 7 from Jeremy Sohan, 7 from Cody Martin, and then 5 from Jalen McDaniels. So let's see, we get to play out of the play-in tournament. We get the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is no easy task. The Cavaliers are always pretty good in 2K. They did keep Colin Sexton. They drafted Jalen Duren, so they got even bigger as well. So Duren backing up Mobley and Jarrett Allen. I mean, imagine a lineup of Lauri Markkanen, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, and Jalen Duren at the same time. And then you could throw like Garland next to all 4 of them. That'd be kind of funny, obviously. Or you could even put out this guy right here, which actually, no, that's not a center. Do we have a center? Do we have another center? No, we do not. Reggie Jackson is at the bottom of the rotation. But regardless, semi current round against Cleveland. We are going to go 2-2 with them. Can we beat them in 6? Yes. Okay, we're on to the second round. Cleveland was a tough opponent. I get to play Philadelphia, which we beat Philadelphia last year, so I expect to do the same thing again. They do have Tari Eason, who's developed a little bit more. They signed Kyle Anderson. Still have James Harden, who's continued to go down in overall. So I think we should be able to beat them. We're up 1-0, 2-0. And because of LaMelo Ball and the Hornets, the Philadelphia 76ers have never won a championship. Let's go. And now I get to play the Detroit Pistons, who are back, and they have Nikola Jokic. Jokic is not going to Detroit, bro. Why is he always signing to Detroit? Or it's like Zach LaVine always going to the Spurs, the Nuggets, or I guess today he went to the Pacers, but game 1, we're up 1-0. Okay, I'm a little scared of the, Pistons here, not going to lie, but we did win game 1. Game 2, we're up 2-0. I don't care if you have Jokic. We have Gobert, who's locking them up. Can we beat them in 5? No. Can we beat them in 6? We did. We're back to the NBA Finals. Okay. Now I get to play the Oklahoma City Thunder. We have Shea, Giddey, Wendell Moore, Jabari, Victor Wembanyama. That's a very good front court you have in Oklahoma City. I mean, those draft picks would have paid off then, I assume. You have a front court of Jabari and Victor, which is actually very possible for the Thunder to have this for this year. So, game 1, we're up 1-0, 123-107. LaMelo Ball drops 57. Game 2, we're up 2-0. Game 3, up 3-0. And game 4, it's like a Damian Lillard bye-bye. Let's go, baby. 4-0 win for the Charlotte Hornets. And I think I'm going to end it there, boys. Rudy Gobert and the Hornets would make this team unstoppable. Charlotte, if you could do it, 2K agrees with the idea of getting Gobert in Charlotte. I don't know how much it would cost. I don't think it'd cost too much because Gobert's contract, but maybe Utah offer, values him a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Utah, but boys, you already know. Once a trade does happen, regardless of whatever team it is, we are here. We are ready. We'll be here to do a rebuild over it as soon as it happens. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I do realize the Jaylen Brown trade maybe was a little out of pocket, but thought it was fun today. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. But thank you guys for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.